with mine. Hine ma tov u'manayim, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, sheverachim gam yachad.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Temple Israel. I'm Rabbi Michael Walk here with my colleague Cantor Shira Lissick. We're happy to have you with us in our sanctuary, and we're happy to have people joining us over StreamSpot as we begin Shabbat together. This is a special Shabbat as we approach the end of the Jewish year and get ready for Rosh Hashanah. And we also this week celebrate the bar mitzvah of Jonas Fisher. There he is, celebrating. You ready to go, Jonas? You ready to start your bar mitzvah? You think we can go ahead? All right, we'll take it. Give me 1 second. Hold on. We're going to call on you in 1 minute. He's really eager to go. Welcome Jonas's family, Julie and Jonathan Fisher, Mazel Tov, and all of his family and friends who are here. It's great to see you at Temple Israel. We start our time together with the lighting of Shabbat candles, and I invite everyone to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. May be seated. We're going to start Kabbalah Shabbat, the introductory service for Shabbat, on page 11. Now I'm happy to call up our bar mitzvah, Jonas Fisher, to lead us in Lechune Ranina, page 11. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector, filled with thanks. Let us greet God as we raise our voices in song, page 11.
Lehune ranena, lehune ranena, lehune ranena, l'Adonai. Lehune ranena, lehune ranena, lehune ranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzori, shenu nekadma fana betoda. Naria, naria, litzori, shenu bizmirot naria lo. Lehune ranena, lehune ranena, lehune ranena, l'Adonai. Lehune ranena, lehune ranena, lehune ranena, l'Adonai.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grow in them exult, even the trees of the forest shall sing praise as Adonai, as God comes. We turn to page 14, the middle of the page, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismehu Hashamayim, Yismehu Hashamayim, Yismehu Hashamayim, V'tagel Haaretz. Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Umalo O. Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Yiram Hayam, Umalo O.
Page 20, the final 3 lines of the page, Romamu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishahavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishahavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu veishtahavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu veishtahavu lehar kodsho.
We turn to page 23 and we welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride, with Lecha Dodi.
Leha leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Leha leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zahor b'dibor ehad, hishmiyanu el hamyat, Adonai ehad, u'shemo ehad. L'shem ul titferet v'lit hila leha leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lehu v'nelaha, Kihim kor ha-braha merosh mikedem nusecha, sof ma'aseh b'mahashava tehi lila leha leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Bawi v'shalom eteret ba'alam, gam b'simha uv'tohala, tokemenu am segula. Bawi kela lila leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela. Leha dodi, likrat kala, pane Shabbat nekabela.
Yasher Koach, Jonas, for getting us started. Good job. May be seated. We continue on page 27, a song for the day of Shabbat, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
So we'll start with a nigun, and then we'll add the words Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 ya lai, 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 lai. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chasrecha. Ve'emunatcha ba'aleilot. Alei asor va'alei navel. Alei higayon ve'chinor. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulzamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tzadik tamar yifrach כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחון. עוד ינבו משיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malaki ulavesh, lavesh Adonai osi tazar, aftikon tevel baltimot. Mikolot ma'im rabim adirim mishpereyam adir bamarom Adonai, edotecha nemnu melevitcha nava kodesh, Adonai leorech yamim.
Each Shabbat we bless our children, we bless all the people we love and care for with the words of Berkat Kohanim, with the words of the priestly blessing. So I invite everyone to please rise, and if you're close to someone you care about, reach out with your arms, put your arms around their shoulders. If you're far away from the people you care about, reach out with your hearts, think about them as we share these words of Shabbat blessing.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha ken yehi ratzon.
May Adonai bless you and guard you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May Adonai show you favor and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasem lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasem lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon.
May Adonai show you kindness and grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May it be God's will.
Ken yehi ratzon.
May be seated. We now turn to our prayers of healing as we think of those in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being. Included in our prayers tonight, we think of Chana Miriam bat Rivka, Rav Yaakov Chai ben Hadassah, Shimon ben Yaakov Mordechai ben Naomi, Devorah bat Sarah, Hershel Yehoshua ben Malka, Perel bat Rezel, Dov ben Ita, Shmuel Yaakov ben Kalia Ba'ari, Devorah Rachel, Malka bat Sarah, Leib Yisrael ben Sipora, Eliza Meira bat Leah, Tzivya bat Chana, Yudit bat Miriam, Fegla bat Chasha, Arya ben Malka, Kalman Pinchas ben Moshe be'eta, Sarah bat Chaim Shlomo, Sarah bat Chaya, Chanoch Yitzchak ben Sarah, Sarah bat Shendol, Binyamin Noah, Ever Yitzchak, Yosef ben Miriam, Shir Ruth Batya bat Yaakov Yerushalayim, Tziro ben Moshe Kalman, Miriam Tzivya bat Aaron Vitova, Raphael ben Perel, Chaim Yitzchak ben Gittel Fegel, Leah bat Ruth, Dawson Julia, Elijah Villa, Jordana Faith Ram, Mabel Tannenbaum, Kathy Berlin, Sandra Harold, Don Roth, Philip Lamantia, Tamara Rivera, Irene Janet Locker, Marty Shefflin, Linda Castellanos, Thomas Clark, David Shmuel ben Chaim Beryl, Miriam Daniela bat Areli Vimoshe, Phyllis Keller, Gabriel Zago, Marsha Bracha Batoba, Joanne Cameron. If you're praying for someone this evening, I now invite you to recite the names of the people you are praying for. Cantor leads us in the prayer for healing.
El Narifanala, El Narifanalo, Mishe Birach Avoteinu, El Narifanala, El Narifanalo, Mishe Birach Imoteinu.
turn to page 30 to the Mourner's Kaddish, and I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, Amen. You may be seated. Shabbat shalom, everyone. So if you were here last Shabbat in the morning, we blessed two groups of people getting ready to leave for Israel. One person going to study for the year post-high school, and another family making aliyah, moving to Israel. And a common theme in both of those remarks, one that the student mentioned and that I mentioned to the family, is that one thing to enjoy about Israel is the great food, especially in Jerusalem. And there's one particular place that I am thinking of this evening, because it's one place that I make a pilgrimage to when I go to Israel, when I go to Jerusalem. It's located in the Machane Yehuda Shuk, and it's a bakery. It's a bakery called Marzipan. Has anyone been there? You see it, so you know about the Rugelach. You know about them too. Marzipan is known for their chocolate honey Rugelach. They are, you like the sound of that? Yeah, they are, you can't eat just one, let's put it that way. And they sell them by the kilo. And whenever I go to Jerusalem, I make a point of going there and eating too many Rugelach. But then I always go with Tupperware, because there's a tradition of going to Marzipan and buying 2 or 3 kilos of Rugelach, freezing them, and then taking them back to America, where you can share them with all of your friends and family who then really like you. Well, I was thinking about making that pilgrimage to Marzipan, thinking about the act of bringing food, special food from Jerusalem, and bringing it back home, as read the introductory, the beginning story in tomorrow's Torah portion of Ki Tavo. Because instead of taking food from Jerusalem, taking special food from Jerusalem and bringing it somewhere else, this opening story talks about bringing special food with us to Jerusalem. It talks about the custom, the practice in ancient Israel of bikurim, the practice of the first fruits, that the farmers in ancient Israel would bring a portion of their early harvest to Jerusalem each and every year and present it to the Kohen and present it to the priest as an offer of thanks to God. Well, the service is described briefly in the Torah portion tomorrow, but the Talmud contains many Jewish legends, elaborates on the idea of bikurim, elaborates on the procedure every year. And it starts with the farmer looking at his crops as they are growing, as the first fruits are appearing, and looking on the vines, looking on the trees, and seeing the first fruits to ripen, and marking them, tying that branch with a string, making the designation that is bikurim, that is the first fruits. And the harvest goes on, hopefully successfully. The farmer takes that first branch, the branch marked with the string, puts it in a basket, and begins the journey to Jerusalem with other people from that village, wherever that village is in Israel. And as people from the farther villages get closer into Jerusalem, they're joined by more people. They pass through other villages where other pilgrims join them on their march towards Jerusalem. And it becomes a festive event. It becomes a communal gathering. As they get closer to Jerusalem, messengers run ahead of this crowd coming with their baskets of fruit. And the people of Jerusalem, including the members of the Sanhedrin, the members of the high court, would come out to greet them and march them into the city with a parade with musical instruments celebrating their arrival. And the party gets bigger and bigger and bigger until they get to the heart of Jerusalem, to the Holy Temple, where there each farmer is able to offer that basket of fruit, that basket of bikurim to the Kohen, and to thank God. The Talmud describes it as a really big deal that happens every year, a huge celebration, something not to be missed, and a big mitzvah, a good thing to do, a commandment. But as I think about that description of the Talmud, I think about before the parade starts, before the music starts to play, that farmer all the way at the beginning of the harvest, who has no idea how the harvest is going to go, who has no idea of what's going to happen over the course of the next few months. That farmer who still sees the first fruit coming in and marks it and says, this is bikurim. This is going to be my offering to God. I am going to take this and I am going to thank God, no matter what happens at this particular moment. And there's something about that that feels very brave, because things can go horribly wrong for that particular farmer. But he's taking a chance. He's taking a leap of faith that everything is going to be all right, that I'm going to be able to travel, that I'm going to be able to leave my family well-fed and supported, because I'm going to take that first step and assume that everything is going to go well, and try to make everything go well. It's a very brave move, and he's rewarded for it by the time he gets to Jerusalem with this gigantic celebration. And that's something I think about as we approach the high holidays. We approach Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, this time when we take new commitments on ourselves. And a new commitment, we sometimes think of a New Year's resolution as a giant thing, some big idea that is bound to fail. But for me, the farmer teaches that a New Year's commitment means taking that first step, means taking that leap of faith that I'm going to be able to do something positive in the coming year. Something as small as tying off that vine and saying, this is going to be my bikurim, this is going to be my thanks to God. And so we approach Rosh Hashanah and we think about what are the small little first steps that we can take towards improving our lives in the coming year. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the Mariv, the evening service, on page 39. Please rise for the Baraku.
La 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 la.
Be seated. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons, and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המריב הרבי.
Amen. page 40.
אהבת עולם בדיוק עולמך, אהבת את עולם. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, והם נגע יומם ולילה, ובטחל תשים ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיה עם שמוע תשמע מזאת הישר. Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
Page 43. And Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, page 44.
Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ba'elim, mi kamocha nehedar b'hakodesh, mi kamocha nehedar, nora tehilot יפדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Join me. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom leshalom. Hashkivenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu malkeinu lechayim chayim ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha shlomecha. When I lay down at night, when I rest my head, oh God, watch over me. And when the morning comes, we thank Adonai and pray for peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu lishalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu lishalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ushmor tzitenu vohenu lechayim u'lishalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Ufros alinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch ata Adonai haporei sukat shalom alinu v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, please rise for Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו לעילם עם כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא בימרו אמן.
We spend the next few moments in silent prayer, the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47. Page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי ובמלכות ובחיי בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך, Yiparach v'yishabach v'yipar v'torma v'yinaseh v'yitzatar v'yisla v'yitzalal shmei nekudsha brichu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nachmata damiran b'alma v'imeru amen tirkabat zolton v'alton zucho Yisrael kodam abuhon v'yishmai v'yimru amen yehi shalom arab min shemai v'chaim elin v'kol Yisrael v'yimru amen oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen
Amen. Page 55, please rise. I'm happy to again call on Jonas Fisher to lead us in Kiddush.
Just wait a second.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kisharu b'mitzvotav v'eratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahav uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reshi ki hu yom tehila l'mikrae kodesh Zeher l'tziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta Mikol
Hamim.
Ve'shabbat kodsha Ve'ahava uvratzon Hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Kaddish Shabbat.
Amen. Yasher Koach, Jonas. We continue with Aleinu, page 56.
You did awesome.
Thank you.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot v'lo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'goralenu kechol hamonam ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינת זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו איnon אמת מלכנו אפס ולטוב ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחתינו. הכתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
May be seated. We turn to page 59, the Psalm for the season of repentance, page 59.
לדוד אדוני אורי ושימי מעיר אדוני מעוז חיימי ממך אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותה בקשיבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי לחזות לולא האמנתי לראות בטוב אדוני בארץ חיים קבל אדוני חזק ואמץ ליבך וקבל אדוני.
Turn back to page 58 for the Mourner's Kaddish. This Shabbat we mark the yortzites of Rachel Steinberg, Ann Goldfarb Tepper, Harry Smeagol, Mindy Ellen Levine, Barbara Folkart, Mary Garris, Yetta Besnoy, Sam Shrega, Paula Raposa, Edna Bernanke, Arlene Sweet, Malcolm Flash, Doris Cohn Shapiro, Jacob Rosen, Rudolph Steiner, Mary Adler, Melville Cohen, Jacob Brodsky, Zena Becker, Gloria Rubenstein, Mike Rubenstein, Ann Schlesinger, Barbara Mandel, Arthur Breitbart, Sam Silver, Herbert Sonny Addison, Joy Slater, Tibor Stark, Yema Zhiravlev, Norman Pomerantz, William Norman, Seymour Kramer, Miriam Sokolov, Arthur Kahn, David Safran, and David Mann. We also extend condolences to Sam Bernstein, who's in the period of Shloshim following the passing of his father, Martin Bernstein. Turn to page 58, and I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'lomei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechamata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. I call on our President, Teresa Brenner, for some words of greeting.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, Temple Israel family. Welcome, congregants, guests, and all of the Fisher family and your guests. Mazel Tov, Jonas. You did a delightful job this evening in leading us in Kabbalah Shabbat services, and we look forward to hearing you tomorrow and to joyfully celebrating your bar mitzvah. Thank you, Rabbi Wolk, for leading us in services, Cantor Lissick for your lyrical voice, and our special guest pianist this evening, Dawn Broom. Thank you for joining us, and Sean Seifert for your audiovisual support. For those attending services in person tomorrow, and with much anticipation given Rabbi Wolk's comments about Rugala this evening, Julie and Jonathan Fisher will be sponsoring the sweet treat in honor of their son Jonas' bar mitzvah. Thank you so much. We look forward to that tomorrow. Temple Israel Religious School re-enrollment and annual renewals are occurring now. Thank you to all who have renewed and enrolled. If you haven't already done so, register and renew this week. Hebrew High is also open for registration for rising 8th through 12th graders. Please visit Hebrew High's website online. And our friends at Huntingtown Farms Elementary School are in need of school supplies and backpacks. A list of needs is available online, and Linda Levy will collect your donations at Temple Israel or the Levine Jewish Community Center. High Holy Day services, we're looking this week. We've mailed something in the mail. Karen Turk and her team did a mailing, so all of the services, as they currently are updated and are in your packets, and you should be getting them at home. But please do continue to check our website and your weekly email as things are evolving rather quickly. For those of you who have registered to pick up Moxers because you will be participating in live stream services, don't forget your pickup is Sunday for the Moxers at the portico in the front from 10 to noon. We are also seeking greeters for Shabbat and High Holy Day services, so should you be interested in greeting or sponsoring sweet treats, please call Karen Turk. Tomorrow morning, we will again celebrate Jonas' bar mitzvah, but tomorrow night we will have Shlikot services, which will begin at 8:30 p.m. with a study session, followed by Havdalah and Shlikot services at 9 p.m. And for those who are attending in person, there will be yet another sweet treat takeaway. So please join us tomorrow morning, and again, look at all of your emails and your online weekly email blasts, and join us for Shabbat services and the High Holy Day services, which are coming soon. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Teresa. I just want to do a little plug for people here in the room and people joining us on StreamSpot for Slichot tomorrow night, and in general for the high holidays. I know that speaking to many people, there's a discomfort and anxiety about coming into a room this size and worrying that you're going to be surrounded by a lot of people, a position that most of us have not been in for quite some time at this point. And so I would encourage anyone to consider attending some of the smaller services, to have some of the high holiday experience, even if you're not comfortable, not ready to attend the big service, to think about Slichot, this beginning to the high holidays tomorrow night, and Erev Rosh Hashanah, the eve of Rosh Hashanah, or even the evening service, the first or second day of Rosh Hashanah, as a chance to have some of that high holiday experience, even if you choose to participate virtually for the main services. As I'm looking forward to the high holidays, even though they will still not be quite normal, but it will be great to celebrate them together with Temple Israel. We conclude tonight with Shalom Aleichem. We turn back to page 5.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Boachem, Shalom Malachi, HaShalom Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Nil Shalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, Nil Shalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Teichem Shalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov.